Vincent, yes, hello. Good morning. Yes.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Yes, I'm well. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I've been. Our last session was really instructive, and I have got a confession to make.
Instructive how?
Oh, well, just because you know, with the Dawn moving in and my partner and all that, and you sort of said I should change, so I thought one of the first things I should change is my wardrobe, and so I've sort of gone on that journey to overhaul my wardrobe, and I thought, and this is where the confession bit comes in, I thought I would get a stylist to help me do that.
That's a good idea. But I wanted to ask you about that because I've gone over my notes. Are you still stalking your partner and her new partner?
No, I'm not. I've given up surveilling, and I'm just letting it go.
Yes. Yes.
And well, what happened was with the stylist that I got for my wardrobe, they're not actually a stylist, and this is what I wanted to tell you.
Yes.
They're a fashion therapist.
Right.
And so they, I've had to enlist them as a fashion therapist, and they've actually uncovered some very deep-seated phobias and neuroses that I have that are to do with clothing and my appearance. And I wanted to share them with you, and whether you would be into sort of maybe sharing notes with the fashion therapist.
Well, of course, and naturally it would be related to the soft furnishings. That would be a very natural tangent.
Yes, it's a continuation of that. So the first thing that the therapist, her name is Kirsty, the first thing she picked up on was that I have an accessory anxiety, especially with belts and tiaras.
Yes. Well, that's. I mean, the belts, but tiaras. I think, especially outdoors. Yes.
Yeah. So, I've had to sort of like work with her with that one. But the bigger sort of anxiety she's sort of picked up on is underwear dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia. It's interesting that you and maybe this is I don't want to go back to Freud, but you started off with transmorphia, but then you moved into dysmorphia with underwear.
Well, Kirsty's picked up on this underwear dysmorphia, and what she suggested I do is that I regress back to a Genesis mode, and so what she wanted me to do, and I've done it, for 1 week, I just wore a fig leaf. And, I mean, the difficulty there was finding, big enough fig leaves. But also, how do you attach them? I ended up using double-sided tape, which was very uncomfortable. And then when you finished, you just like rip it off or take it off. It was very painful.
Yes.
From that, after that, a few days of fig leaf therapy, she suggested I regress back to my childhood and wear a nappy. So I wore a nappy for a couple of days, and they're readily available at supermarkets, which I didn't know.
What, the big ones? Yeah.
Yes. So, and then because she's into fashion, she said after 2 days of that, I could move into haute couture underwear. So, and that was quite eye-opening because she suggested I go with a Japanese stylist, origami, and it's underwear made out of paper, but it's it's folded out of one piece of paper, and it's underwear. Very uncomfortable, but very, very stylish.
So you get something like sort of in the shape of a stalk.
A crane. Yeah, a stalk. Yeah, I feel like I've got a crane in between my legs.
It goes up and down. Yeah. Well, but it brings to mind. That's it's a good and
yes.
Brings to mind that a few sessions there was a thing where your partner wanted you to regress to oh God.
Sorry, yes.
Your partner wanted you to regress to baby stage. Well, that's how I'd interpreted what you were saying. And it just seems like you attract she hers who want you to regress to baby stage. And I don't know whether that's just whether you attract them or they attract you.
Well, it's sort of like mother figures.
Well, and because she who we can't mention. I don't know how this is working, but so maybe we should go back to Freud. But listen, look, if it's working for you and if it's helping, I think go forth. Yes, do it absolutely.
Well, yes. Look, I sort of mentioned that this whole fashion therapy phase, and I mentioned you. She'd never heard of you, and I mentioned some of your modalities, and she'd never heard of them. And then I said, well, Michael is a fantastic therapist. He's taken me through Freud, Jung, cognitive dissonance, all those modalities and phases of psychology. And she said the only psychologist she believes in is Dolce & Gabbana.
Yes. Well, there's actually it's two of them, and I support that. They're fabulous fellas. I met them when I was in Milan at what year was it? Yeah. They're nice. They're nice. A little bit arrogant, but they're nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, that's been my last few days. Very eye-opening.
Well, that's great. So keep going with that, and Are
you okay with that? That I've actually enlisted another therapist?
Oh no, totally. And look, because you had you've tried lots of different things, and try everything. What works, what sticks, except for the the tape, and just be careful when you get it off. But there's something that I wanted to, and again, look, it's really for you, because I'm still in the humanistic mode, and it's all about you, really, because you're the client, and that's what I'm being taught in my studies. But there's something that I want to share with you, which is I went to a workshop over the weekend, as I do, because I like to keep myself busy, as you know. And it was interesting. It was out in the country, and it was a little bit sparse. It wasn't the usual, nice food and things like that.
Right.
A lot of flies around. It wasn't that good, really. But the learnings were fantastic, and it was based on the dialectical. Theories of was it Engels? I think it was. Yes.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if you know about that. It's a dialectics.
Engels chicken? Is that?
No. He was like a philosopher from a couple of hundred years ago. I don't know.
Yes.
So they sort of said, this is what it is. And basically, the way it works is they sort of say, look, the way that things work is that things work in opposition to each other.
Right.
And there's this all this sort of fancy stuff, which it took me a little while to sort of understand. And there's this thing called the thesis, and then there's the apothesis. No, it wasn't. The hypothesis. There was all this kind of Greek words, the hypothesis, and then they kind of they fight each other, and they come together and they form a synthesis. And that actually is quite good, because you might end up wearing some synthetics. In your fashions, which I wouldn't have recommended 20 years ago, but Now synthetics are getting much, much better. And in fact, Uniqlo does fantastic synthetics.
Right.
And I mention that because I've actually got a sponsorship with them. So this is this is a shout out because I every time I mention them, Uniqlo, on the podcast, I get a little kickback. So Uniqlo, well done you. It's really nice. They breathe. They keep you warm in winter. They keep you cool in summer. Uniqlo. So,
well, what podcast are you talking about? Hello?
Yeah.
What podcast are you talking about? Do you have a podcast?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. But here's the thing. So the way and I thought about you, and I thought,
yeah,
how would this work for Vincent? You know,
right?
And the way that I thought about it is, I thought, okay, so the thesis, the opposition, the hypothesis, and they come together, and I thought, you strike me as an extrovert.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so that would be the thesis. Then the opposition to that would be to be an introvert.
Right.
And so what I thought is we would spend the rest of the time, we would start the session proper, and we would start the rest of the session with you not saying anything at all.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I am.
So I trust there's been no harm or self-harm, and
no. Oh. Yeah. Am I allowed to say?
Well, I'll do all the talking because I mean,
okay.
So So it was and So it's something that I thought maybe you could sort of bring into your life to become more introverted as a way of achieving a synthesis between your sort of naturally extroverted state, which is the thesis, and then create a synthesis by becoming more introverted and just sort of shuffling along the street with your hands in your pockets, but be careful that you don't trip over and break your nose and stuff like that. Especially if you've got very tight jeans, because then you can't get your hands out of your pockets real quick. And don't look people in the eye, and if you're gonna talk to them, look at your shoes, or at the very most, look at their shoes, that sort of thing, and just sort of mumble a little bit, but don't really sort of engage in conversation. And just try that out for a week, and next time we speak, just try and see how that goes, and then. Maybe next time we speak, maybe we will achieve a synthesis where you will become. It'll be like the phoenix out of the ashes, if you know what I mean.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No. But anyway, our time is up.
Yes.
So listen, stay safe, and good luck with both those modalities. I think they'll both serve you well, and I'll speak to you next time. Shh. Cheerio then.